Get us shorties in front.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for coming. I'm going to talk very briefly, and then my colleagues, whoever want to say something can. When I'm done, we will take questions. If you direct the questions to me, I will either answer it or designate to someone, or you may choose a senator to ask questions to. So with that, I will open by telling you that the people of Israel have suffered a terrorist attack that many are equating to our own September 11th. Mass gunmen, entire families in their homes, massacred babies and the elderly, and dragged hostages across the border into Gaza. We saw a lot of it in the film, on TV, and otherwise. These attacks are premeditated, brutal, and horrific, and will long live in the memory of those of us who support the Israeli people. Our message to the Israeli people is clear. We stand with you, and we will do all that we can to ensure you can rebuild, defend your land and people, and ensure that Hamas can never, ever do something like this again. This is different than the previous incursions. Almost immediately after the attacks, we saw misguided and dangerous calls for a ceasefire and mediation. These harmful messages failed to recognize Israel's legitimate right to protect its people. You can't mediate with terror organizations. You have to go to the source and eliminate it, which I know the Israelis are working to do. They do war like we do war, not like terrorists do war, and they are very sensitive to damage to civilians. Hamas is merely an arm of the Iranian regime. Iran pulled the trigger on October 7th, and there are other Iranian proxies in the region that have long sought to pursue the type of attack and carnage that we saw that day. These people hate Israel and the Jewish people, but they also hate the United States of America and the American people. The administration can no longer wish away the Iranian threat or attempt to appease the Iranians as they have. The attacks in Israel and recurring attacks against our partners, troops, and diplomats are proof of a failed Iran policy. And we must change course quickly before more damage is done by the Iranian regime. With that, I want to recognize Senator Wicker for a few remarks.
Thank you, Senator Risch, and we'll all be brief because I know you may have questions. Let's make this very clear. Hamas does not want the people of Gaza to live side by side with their Israeli fellow humans in peace. That is not the goal